Hello there, I'm Travis, and I'm your host for the next few minutes. What are we going to talk about? Well, what we're going to talk about is rules. The rules of Hatfield-McCoy Trail System. Why am I going to talk about it? Because everybody and their pet goat keep lighting up all the forums and Facebook pages, asking the same questions over and over. Hopefully this can help you. This is for all the beginners, really. Not the advanced old-timers that have been up there since Moses was riding around on a four-wheeler, but this is to help the new ones. Now let's get started, shall we? All I'm basically going to be reading about is the rules and regulations off of trailheavens.com's website. Everything that I'm going to be talking about will be down below in the descriptions so that you can click on it and go to it and read it at your leisure. This is primarily to help all people that have never been there or still kind of got questions of maybe they didn't know where to find everything. This is just to help them, okay? If you've already been there, you've already got your stuff, you already know what to do, then jump off and go watch something else. This is not dealing with anything with the outlaw trails, so I'm not going to be talking about outlaw trails. So this is all specifically for the Hatfield-McCoy Trail System. Just the rules, okay? Here we go, kids. You ready? It's a shellload of rules. I think we should get started, shall we? All right. These are the general rules. Then there is a UTV specific set of rules, 7 more rules behind the 14. Okay? So, rule number 1, user permit required for all passengers and drivers. Well, what that means is whoever's in the buggy and you're on HMT stuff, everybody needs to have a nice little sticker sitting right here. Okay. Everyone must wear DOT and Snell approved helmet. Basically, in a nutshell, if you've got DOT on the back of your helmet or Snell, you are good to go. All operators and passengers must meet the manufacturer's minimum age and size. That means if little Timmy cannot fit in that seat safely, he should not be in that seat. Okay? That's pretty much about it. No one under the age of 6 is allowed on the trails at any time or any circumstances. That's basically telling you anybody under the age of 6 should not be on there. That's one of the many questions. Oh, well, I'm bringing my kid. Well, you know what? This says no. 5. Any operator or passenger under the age of 16 must be in direct supervision and within the eyesight of the parent or guardian at all times. That means whoever is riding with you that is underage of basically kind of like the driver's license or 18, stuff like that, they need to be in visual sight, front and or back anytime you're driving. Okay? That doesn't mean when they're gone and you're all proud, that's my kid. No, you need to be able to see them all the way. It's safety. Okay? Obey all signs, gates, and barriers. This means if it says don't go, you don't go in there, because you could be dealing with somebody besides DNR. You could be dealing with the coal mine security. You could be dealing with all kinds of things. So stay out of those areas. Okay? Trails are open during daylight. So basically 30 minutes before the sun comes up to about right as the sun's starting to turn to dusk, you can ride. Anytime after that, you need to either have a damn good reason that you're out there or you'd be needing to get off that mountain ASAP. Now, is DNR going to be waiting down there? Who knows? Sometimes I've seen them down there, sometimes I haven't. So it just depends on the trails and what they're feeling frisky if they want to get people for late driving. Okay, number 8, no littering, camping, or fires, period. End of story. You cannot camp up there. They do not want you to litter, so whatever you take in, you need to bring out with you. You need to be a conservationist, and whatever you take in there, oil cans, whatever, bring it out with you, put it in a trash bag and bring it out with you. Don't leave it out there because you're kind of, it's a hazardous, and I'm not talking like hazardous waste. I'm talking in general like hazards. Like if you leave a beer can outside and somebody, over time, it gets smashed and torn open and all of a sudden the leaves cover it and somebody's got to go do a potty break and they're wearing their favorite Crocs that might cut right through the Crocs and cut their feet. It's a safety thing. Also, it's kind of shitty. It really is shitty, actually, because we still see, to this day, of past 3 years of riding, we still see people throwing their shit off to the side. Just pick it up, take it with you. If it's your way of, well, these are my beer cans and I don't want DNR to catch me. We're going to get to the next rule coming up. Just be mindful and respectful. Whatever you take in, take out with you. Okay, here we go, kids. The one that everybody likes to ask. Number 9, no alcohol may be consumed or possessed. Basically, you cannot be drinking and driving, or you cannot have beers that, oh, hey, I stopped at the gas station over here in Gilbert, but I'm trying to get myself back to Man, and that was the only place that had my favorite beer. DNR ain't going to give 2 shits. Honestly, they are not going to care. They're going to make you pop the cans, pour it out, and then they're going to fine you. And you're going to take your empty, dead soldiers with you. It happens. It's definitely something you don't want to risk because the cost is very bad. It could be $100, $200, or whatever the latest new one is. Just don't do it or don't get caught. And if you do, remember, you're paying for the consequences of violating a rule that they have already laid out for you. Okay? No glass containers of any kind. Period. End of story. Don't take anything of glass in there and put it in your machine and go out there and go terracing through the neighborhoods. Don't have glass in your machine at all. Okay? It's point blank. Be aware of oncoming traffic, particularly around blind corners. You're going to be going into corners that are just like this. Be mindful. Go in there kind of gradually. If you know nobody's there, if the lead vehicle's already up there, then okay, it's at your discretion. But if you're the lead pack and you're going up in there, be careful going around the corners because the person that's coming in the oncoming traffic might not be as respectful as you, and the next thing you know, you guys hit head on and it's somebody's calling ambulance or something to come get you. So just be careful. Okay, 12, no competition speed, endurance, or climbing abilities allowed at any time without a special permit. No Mario Karting, I guess, without a special permit. 13, operate at a reasonable speed and under control, have the vehicle in your control at all times. Point blank. All machines must be equipped with a properly functioning muffler with a United States Forestry Service approved spark arrestor. So if you're out there with a homemade thing, you better have a spark arrestor in there because it's calling for it. Now, at the end of all this, I'm going to explain some things, okay? And why you definitely want to have your spark arrestor. And it's not just because of fires. Now we're going to go into the UTV rules. First 14 was just for basically general rules for everybody riding. This one is specifically for the UTVs. Wear your helmet, DOT, that's rule number 1. Rule 2, seatbelts at all times. And you cannot have more people than the seatbelts that are in the machine. That doesn't mean, or that means basically if you have a 2-seat side by side, somebody cannot be sitting in the bed of your machine without a seatbelt. They have to have a seatbelt. If you have a 4-seater and you have 5 people and you only have 4 seatbelts, there you go. Okay? Keep your number 3 is keep your hands, arms, and feet, legs, and head inside the vehicle at all times while you're operating. Don't be kind of sticking your head out waving at people oncoming traffic. You might get popped. It's a safety thing. No booster seats or car seats are allowed. End of story. It's a rule, says it. Some people still go ahead. Remember what I said. It's your call. If you want to violate a rule and you get caught, prepare to pay the consequences. Okay? Possess valid owner's manual and machine for the machine that is being operated. So each machine out there needs to have a valid owner's operator's manual. Now, somebody's going to say, well, bullshit, I don't need it. I'm going to get to the very last part. I'm going to explain the reasons why some of this stuff you need to do and follow. Okay? But it's real easy. You can go on Google. You can download the thing. You can get it from most of the places. Most of the manufacturers, you can download the owner's manual free of charge. You might, if you want a hard copy, you might have to pay a little, but make sure you got it on there. Okay? Stay on designated trails. UTVs are permitted on easiest, most difficult, and most difficult trails signed accordingly. In where you can go ahead and click on the links and stuff that I'll have down below, you'll be able to see what the signs actually look like. And those are the signs that you follow. And if it says don't take your machine, you know, it's got the machine with a line through it. And it says basically don't take it, don't take it. Okay? It's a rule. UTVs must be equipped with a steering wheel and low pressure. Yes, Yes, definitely. You must have a steering wheel, unless you can drive ESP, or you're maybe taking a modified Tesla out there, I guess. I don't know. And then the low tire pressure. Okay, that is the rules. Now, one other thing that is in there, it's kind of hard. You can't really find it. Some of the websites talk about it, are hand signals. When you're driving and you see somebody do this, that means that they're the last vehicle. If they're doing this, it's a vehicle behind them. If you see this, 2 vehicles behind them. If you were driving and you were the only vehicle, of course, doesn't mean you want to fist bump. Hey, this is great. This is just basically, in a nutshell, for you to say, there is nobody else behind me that I know of. I'm the only one in my group. End of story. If you see somebody patting their head like this, that is telling you basically either DNR or Popo is in the area. That's how it is. If somebody is pointing like this, all around outside the cab of the equipment, I know per the rule it says, keep your arms, hands, and everything. But at the same time, if you're trying to point out a hazard, that's what you see somebody doing. They're pointing out a hazard. Just say, hey, let you know that maybe the ground's real soft, maybe there's a ledge, whatever. That's what that is for. Okay. Another one is usually sometimes people will use 2 fingers when they're pointing. This is just hey, this is kind of like an attraction. Hey, look, there's birds, there's this, there's that, whatever. Okay. Some people do it, some people don't. It just depends. This is your frequently asked questions on the Hatfield-McCoy Trail System. This is basically put out April 21st. It hasn't really been updated, but it has what is the trails, how many do they have, do the trails connect, where are the trails located, etc., etc., etc. Okay? You can go ahead, you can download it, but it is all specifically right there for you. Now, why was I talking specifically about the certain things in the rules on the spark arrestor, your helmet, and the dead soldiers, beer cans, stuff like that? The reason why is when you get popped by DNR, and if you get lippy, all it is just basically like a regular police. So let's say you're driving down the road and you're sitting there and you get lippy with the police department or sheriff or whatever. What's going to happen is now you've gotten a list of these rules that you better be following each and every one of them, and then they can nitpick one more thing that they can find and fine you for it. So when you come across the DNR, pull off the side, shut off your machine or whatever. If it can't, if it can be shut off, if you're having problems with battery or whatever. Anyways, be respectful. They'll be respectful to you. I have never met a real bad DNR. Now, what does DNR drive? DNR drives white Fords, white Chevys, gray Fords, gray Chevys. UTVs they use are T-Rexes. There's a couple Rhinos in there. There's a couple other Razors, I believe. The reason why I know is the last time we were up there, we saw 2 T-Rexes we've never seen before. And how we knew that they were DNR was they had a nice little DNR sticker, just a little one. But they had flashing red and blue lights with a yellow bar in the back. When you see that, if they're coming to you, just pull off the side. Just treat it like you would if somebody was pulling you over out in the real world. Okay? Don't run from them. Don't disrespect them. They're probably going to turn around and go, hey, how you doing? You got your stickers? Okay, have a great day. Keep on going. Don't give them ammunition to sit there and go, why don't you just pull on over? I want to check your machine out. Next thing up, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Because also, and the other part that I wanted to also reiterate, behind all this, that you really need to kind of get, if you really are really bored and you want to read some stuff, these are the codes. This is the codes that DNR has the law codes for them. Okay, one is 204-1-6. Another one is 204-1-13, or no, 3, excuse me, it's 3. And then the other one is, if you want to read House Bill 4488, that also has the governance of the Hatfield-McCoy system in it too. Like I said, all the links and everything will be down in the description. The biggest thing is go out, have fun, have safe, be careful, enjoy yourself. That's what that's there for. But if you have any questions on top of that, Trail Heavens has a contact phone number that you can contact, or you can contact them through that website, and they will be happy to answer any questions. The people are really great. All in all, never had a problem myself. In the 3 years, if I've had a question, if I contact them, they're civil, they're great, they want your business, they want you to have a good time, they want you to be safe. So if this is your first time, just look at it as get a little knowledge in your belt and go out and have a great time and enjoy yourself. Have everybody with you, and then remember, everything that you took in, you take out with you, including the people. Don't ever leave a straggler. A lot of people are really good to help you out. If they see that you're hurt or there's a problem, a lot of people will stop off and go, hey, do you need help? If somebody offers you help, take it. Even if you're in a big group, there might be somebody with some more knowledge in there that, hey, we've seen an area that, we can show you a different way of pulling your machine out or something else, or we've got some tools, or we've got spare parts. Because a lot of people will share things back and forth. And a lot of people will be like, well, what do I owe you for it? Most of us won't even care. Like if you got a pop tire and I got a tire kit, I'm going to pump it and I'll fix your tire. I ain't going to charge you. That's asinine. We're all out for the same thing, to have a great time. And if that can keep you going, that's how you should treat it. So anyways, this is Trav, and like usual, go out, have a great time, look out for each other, and just flat out have fun. But just be respectful. All right. If any questions, post them in the comments. Keep them civil. If there's anything else that I can think of, I might do a follow-up video on this. I don't know. But just all in all, be safe and have a great time. Talk to you later.